Here we have a new 2026 Buick Enclave. This one comes in the Sport Touring trim level. This color is Ebony Twilight Metallic, and then we have Ebony Leatherette interior. The powertrain consists of a 2.5-liter turbocharged 4-cylinder engine, and that's mated to an 8-speed automatic transmission. As we come around to the front end here, love how we've got that newer front end here. LED headlamps along with LED daytime running lights. Just a beautiful, beautiful front fascia. And very aggressive too. I love the ST because we get that nice big mesh grille there. Looks absolutely fantastic. And down here to these wheels, these are going to be 20-inch alloy. Passive keyless entry, all 4 doors. And then to the door panel here, power door lock controls, power mirror controls. We can power fold those in. They do have blind spot monitors and are heated. And then we have express down on 3 windows, and the driver's side has 1 touch up and down. Power lift gate, 12-speaker Bose sound system. And then over here we have our electronic parking brake, our drive modes we can go through, automatic brake hold, auto stop toggle, hood release. This does have the floor liner package. And then here's our power driver's seat with 4-way power lumbar support. But I want to give a huge thanks to Chevrolet Buick GMC of Murfreesboro for allowing me to review this Enclave today. I'll leave a link below in the description. If you're looking to find the best price on one of these closer to home, click that second link down below. It takes just a minute to fill out your information, and I'll make sure the local dealers are fighting to get you the best price on this or whatever new vehicle you might be interested in. But seat back pockets are on both sides. Rear AC controls are here. You can set that to auto, change the mode, all of that. 2 USB-C charge ports down below. And then we have the vents in the headliner here. But space back here is great. I'm 6'3", longer legs sitting behind myself. Absolutely fantastic space. And there's a look at the 3rd row. And then you have a USB-C and a bottle holder on either side there. But let's make our way towards the back. Now I'm not showing the window sticker because this tint's really dark, but I'll try to zoom in just so you can see the important stuff. $52,340 is the sticker price. Parts content, 36% US Canadian, 25% Mexico. Assembled in Michigan. 20 city, 25 highway for fuel economy, 22 combined. Fuel filler there. And then as we come around the back end there, we get that LED light bar, which I really like. And then your tow hitch, if you want to hook something up, is behind that cover. And then dual exhaust. Now this is in transport mode, so we get a power lift gate, but it's off now. Top tethers are integrated on the back of the seats, all 5 seats. And if you want to fold these flat, pull and push when the seats are up far enough, and then you just grab the strap, pull it back. And a little storage underneath here. So again, it's kind of awkward, but transport mode doesn't allow you to use the power lift gate, but it does have one. Now, if you're gonna fold this seat flat, pretty easy to do. And then you can just pull this back up. You can tumble it as well. Pull this forward. Then pretty easy, just put it back into place. Lower latch anchors right there. And then child locks, lock, unlock. Front passenger seats, power with 4-way lumbar support, which is a nice touch on this for the passenger side. But down here, we'll get to the radio in a minute, but there's a 12 volt here. You can kind of put a handbag or something in that area. USB-C and a USB-A port, glove compartment. And then as we come back around to the front, there's that 2.5-liter turbocharged 4-cylinder. But before we hop in the driver's seat, we're gonna check out the blinkers. So there's the back, side, mirror, and then the front. But let's hop in the driver's seat. So I love how they did the steering wheels. We have that newer logo, but I love the flat bottom there. That is a nice touch, especially for it to be the Sport Touring. There's the horn. Now over here to this screen, this is actually a 30-inch screen that goes from the left side where the gauge cluster would normally be all the way over to the infotainment system. Looks fantastic. Now for the audio, we do get AM, FM, as well as XM radio. And then on top of that, we have wireless CarPlay, Android Auto compatibility. You get that Google Assistant system with the Google Maps. So with that subscription, you can use all of that. Vehicle status, so you can see if you click on certain things on the animation, you can see your oil life, tire pressure monitors, brake pad life, all of that. Or you can go into the menus and see each thing separately, including the air quality. Now your headlamps are in the screen, so you have a shortcut that's always down here when the vehicle's on. So you can set that to auto, low beams, whatever. And then your lane keeping system, you can do that as well. But ambient lighting is actually on this one, which I really like. So you can go in there, turn that on or off. And then for your cameras, you do get a rear camera, front camera, side views. And then when you have it in gear, the guidelines follow you as you turn the steering wheel. And then in your controls here, you have the power window lockout, traction control, automatic high beams, the park assist. And then you can always pull up the climate controls if you want to see everything on the screen, but most of the stuff is right here. So you can adjust your fan speed, fan direction, the temperature for either side. It's pretty easy to do if you don't want to go into the entire climate menu to do that. Vehicle settings, they do include teen driver, rear seat reminder, and buckle to drive. And then go down to your system settings here. You can adjust your language as well as your units of measurement. And then trailering, when you do that, you have that light test and the checklist you can go through. But your volume knob is right here, which I really like. You can click that, adjust the speed, or adjust the volume, excuse me. And then wireless charging pad there, 2 bottle holders, center console cubby space with a removable tray. You get a nice bright LED light in there as well. And there's a look at the back seat from up here. Sunglasses holders there, hazards, OnStar, your LED lights, vanity mirror, and then back to the steering wheel itself. So we do have the shifter on the column now. So hit the brake, pull for neutral, up for reverse, pulling down for drive. While in drive, you want to go into low mode, do that. And you can use the paddle shifters behind the steering wheel to go through those shifts, or those gears, excuse me. And you can see what gear you're in that bottom right-hand corner where you're being limited there. Press that button for park. Over here, wipers, rear, and then fluid there. Push in for the front fluid, high beams. And then for your cruise control, you can activate it there. Hold this cancel button if you want to go between adaptive and regular. And then you can set the speed right in here. Voice recognition button. And you have the gap adjust for the forward collision alert, as well as the adaptive cruise control you can go through there. And this goes to your track list, radio station presets, mute, Bluetooth, little check mark when applicable. And then you can use this to go through your gauge faces. All of those options there. But heated steering wheel toggle is that button there. Push button start. Finally, here's the key fob with remote start. But next, let's go ahead and take this 2026 Buick Enclave Sport Touring out on the road for a test drive. So starting the test drive in this Enclave Sport Touring, I did want to mention, I think I forgot to tell you all the AC controls. You have fan speed, auto, temperature from either side, and the on or off button there. It's just not illuminated because this is in transport mode, so I totally forgot to mention it. So if you don't like using the buttons in the screen here, or the screen itself, you do have a few buttons down below. It's not everything, but it's a little bit. Now in the normal mode, gets up to speed pretty nicely. Sport mode gives it all the power that you can get out of it. But with it pulling from the front, we're gonna see how it accelerates. getting on the interstate here. Give myself a little bit of space. And we're gonna put it into that sport mode. Here we go. So it got up to speed pretty nicely. Wasn't even pulling that hard. Again, it wasn't sport mode, so there was that, but definitely wasn't flooring it. Now, I do want to give one more thanks to Chevrolet Buick GMC of Murfreesboro for allowing me to review this Enclave today. I'll leave a link below in the description. But if you're looking to find the best price on one of these closer to home, click that second link down below. It takes just a minute to fill out your information. I'll make sure the local dealers are fighting to get to the best price on this or whatever new vehicle you might be interested in. But I mean, it's a Buick. You have the performance tuned suspension here, but it still floats down the road. It's absolutely great. But it does just give you a bit more feel in the wheel here and, you know, in the pedals themselves. And very quiet in here as well. You do have, I think, active noise cancellation, and that is very, very helpful because it's helping with everything. I can't even hear the tires, but overall sound in here is great. But I mean, this thing drives very nicely, handles very well. Again, having that performance tuned suspension is definitely nice. But again, even when you're driving down the highway, you still have that nice boat-like float. It still drives relatively sporty, but it doesn't ride that way, if that makes sense. They just did a really good job tuning the suspension. It's almost kind of hard to explain. Where a vehicle rides so well, but it drives so well, too, it's something else. And I think for the price point here, you get a good solid vehicle just with everything that you get from the new infotainment system. You have that 2-liter or 2.5 turbo 4, which is just a great powertrain. I think gets you fuel efficiency, but then also gives you something that's relatively quick. Kind of reminds me of the Turbo Max in the Silverados. People are like, why would you put a 4-cylinder in a pickup truck? But I mean, that thing is it's a hoss. It really is. And as you can hear, it's really nothing to even describe because it's so quiet in here. It's very hard to hear through the mic any sounds because there's so little, and the sounds that are coming through are very, very quiet. But I think a good option, if you're wanting something that's different from the Traverse, because I see a lot of Traverses out. I don't see that many Enclaves out on the road, but I think this is a good choice. If you're thinking about maybe getting a Z71 or even an RS, I say take a look at this as well. It doesn't have everything, but it has all that you need in a package that feels more luxurious. And don't get me wrong, the Traverse is great, but the Enclave just takes it to that next level in terms of luxury and something that rides absolutely phenomenally. But with all that being said, this will bring me to the end of my review of this 2026 Buick Enclave Sport Touring.